And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. On today's program, we're going to be making a baked chicken with a cracker crumb crust with some succotash and some homemade pecan sandies. So we've got some things semi-started. We've got the oven preheating for the chicken to 375 degrees, and I've got a semi-breading station started. So on the stove, I have about 4 tablespoons or so of butter that I have already melted. We're going to pour that over the chicken. I have 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we're going to use. You, by all means, can use the bone-in chicken on this recipe. I'm using the boneless because it's just easier and it's a little bit quicker, but you could use the bone-in. That's totally up to you. You could use legs, thighs, or breasts, any kind of the meat that you like. We're just using the boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now, I have a sleeve and a half of just the round buttery crackers that you can buy in any store, and you can, whatever kind you like. You've all seen these in the stores. The easiest way I have found to crush anything is to put it in a Ziploc bag, leave just a little tiny hole over here for the air to escape so you don't, break the bag open. Get a meat mallet, a rolling pin, anything heavy. You can just use your fingers if you want to. And then just crush up the crackers. You want them to be kind of fine, but this is easy. Every so often, pick it up and shake it like that so you see the bigger pieces. This is the easiest way in the world to crush crackers. Graham crackers, regular crackers, nuts, whatever you want. And you see you get these nice little cracker crumbs of the buttery crackers that we all love. And that's it. We're going to take this bag and we're going to put this in just any kind of a dish that is shallow enough, that you can do your breading in. I'm just using a pie plate, but you could use whatever you wanted. And then you've got your little breadcrumbs there, your cracker crumbs. 2 eggs. Now, we want to beat up the eggs. This is just to do a breading, a standard breading, like you would do if you were making fried chicken or pork chops or whatever you had that you were cooking. Let's get a whisk and just beat up our eggs just a little bit, just to kind of get those going. Now, you want to have a large baking dish like I've got here. This is about a 9 by 13 baking dish that I have just sprayed with the nonstick cooking spray. That's all I've done. Let's get our chicken. Our boneless, skinless chicken. You want to take 1 chicken breast, and if you see some pieces that need to be trimmed, go ahead and trim them off because you don't really want any little stragglers around. Take 1 of your chicken breasts, put it in your egg, and what the egg does is just helps the cracker crumbs to adhere to the chicken. And then press, as you can see, here, let me move this so you can see it a little bit closer. Press the cracker crumbs rather firm, there's one that didn't break up too good, onto the chicken. And that's all you got to do. And then just take your chicken and put it in your pan there. Let's do another one. Just do it in the egg first, let the excess egg drop off, and then into your cracker crumbs. You could use any kind of cracker that you liked. I just so happen to really like this particular kind of cracker. You know the one, the round one in your store that you buy. It's real buttery and rich. You could use saltines. You could use really any kind of cracker that you like. Fit your chicken in your pan rather snug. You want that in there because we're going to be pouring some butter over it before we bake it. And that way, your butter won't just all seep to the bottom. It'll stay on the chicken. So we want to do this, get our chicken coated. This is a delicious recipe. And this is one of those things you could make it for 2 or 20, whatever you needed to do. Just, however many pieces of chicken that you need, you use. And if you're baking it for a lot of people, then you could just increase the amount of crackers and the amount of egg and just bake it however you wanted it. We've made this before for Christmas dinner. Instead of the traditional hams and turkeys. Sometimes around Christmas I kind of get tired of having the turkey and the ham, and so we've made this at Christmas before, just baked it up, and it's yummy. It's moist. We're going to cover it with foil, and because we're baking it and not frying it, it's a much healthier choice. And the butter and because we're putting it in there fairly close, the chicken juices will stay more in the chicken, and it really does turn out very moist and delicious. My family loves it. And got enough crackers. Sometimes when you get near the end of your chicken, your crackers start running out, and you got to kind of scramble around for a little bit, but that's okay. And then just put that one in there. You see how tight that I'm fitting that in there? That's what you want to do. You want to have that chicken really snug inside that container there. Then we're going to cover this with foil. Our oven is preheated, like I said. This little piece don't want to come off. To 375 degrees. We're going to cover it with foil and bake it. Because I've got the boneless, skinless chicken breasts, it'll bake in about 30 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes. At the end of the baking time, the last 10 minutes or so of your baking time, you would want to uncover, and that will allow the chicken to kind of brown a little bit. Now, if you're using bone-in chicken breasts, it will take a little more time to cook than the boneless, skinless that I have here. So you would want to allow probably a good 45 minutes covered and then another 10 to 15 minutes uncovered. I always, when I have the extra cracker crumbs, what I do is just take my extra cracker crumbs and just kind of sprinkle them over the top of the chicken breasts, just to kind of give it a little bit of an extra coating there, and it's yummy. It really, truly is a very delicious dish. Get the extra off here off my hands. Then I've got, like I said, about 4 tablespoons, 4 or 5, whatever you think you need, melted in my pan, and we're just going to pour. Oops, let me get that here. Oh, lefty here, backwards from everybody. Pour that just gently over. Make sure each one gets a little bit of the butter. Just kind of pour that over the chicken evenly as you can. And then you want to, let me wipe my hands here real quick. You want to sprinkle with some salt and pepper, and because I've got chicken on my hands, I'm not going to touch my container there. I'll pour it out in my other hand. Just lightly sprinkle it with some salt. The crackers, of course, have some salt, so you don't need a whole lot. And some freshly ground pepper. Cover it with foil, 375 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then we'll uncover it and do about 10. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to work on a delicious summertime dish, Succotash. I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Hey, and welcome back. Now our chicken is in the oven. It's covered with foil, 375 degrees, and we're going to move on to a dish that some of you may have had and some of you may not have. It's called Succotash. It's one of those dishes that's a southern dish that is very customizable to your summertime vegetable preferences, whatever's fresh, whatever's in season, whatever looks good that day at the market. It will always contain lima beans, and it will always contain corn, and it will always contain some kind of pepper, either red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, some kind of a vegetable pepper. But you could add tomatoes, you could add okra, you could add whatever kind of vegetables that you like. Today we're going to use lima beans, frozen lima beans, One of my favorite frozen vegetables. I use them all the time in different kinds of recipes in different ingredients. Corn on the cob that's fresh right now, and then a beautiful green pepper and some scallions. We're going to start out one of my favorite ingredients, which is bacon. And I've got about 5 slices of bacon, and I'm just going to go ahead and dice it fine. Dicing it fine here. We're going to get it in our skillet. We're going to cook up the bacon. About 5 slices, however much you like, 5 or 6, whatever you like. I like bacon. I think anything tastes better with bacon on it. Add that to our skillet. One dropped off there. You get a wooden spoon. We're just going to kind of cook our bacon up a little bit here while we chop some other vegetables. Let that be rendering its fat. And we're going to pull the bacon out, but leave the drippings. The drippings add so much flavor. At home, I don't know if any of you do this, but now I do. You know, there are just some things that to me have to have bacon. And at home, whenever I cook bacon, I have this little container that I keep in my refrigerator, and I pour the drippings in there, and I keep the drippings for, you know, dishes, green beans or anything like that. So I know some of you do that too. But we want to leave the drippings, of course. And then just let me find my other knife here. There we go. Let that kind of cook. Keep an eye on it to where it's, you know, going to go. Remember my little trick that I told you about corn on the cob. When you have corn on the cob, which right now is delicious and in season, so you by all means want to use it. If you will use just a regular bundt pan, we did this the other day, put your corn down in the little hole just like that. Then take your knife and cut the kernels off of the cob. The corn goes down into the pan instead of all over your counter. This is a great little trick to getting corn off the cob. And then I like to take my knife and go down. You want to get, for this particular dish, you can see the little milky part that comes out. You know what I mean by the milky part of the cob. You want to get all that in there for this particular dish. I've got about 5 ears of corn here because I'm going to be making quite a bit. You can customize it to however much that you need. But this truly is a great little trick to cutting corn off the cob. And it, you know, can be a very messy job. I know in the summertime, a lot of times I will buy corn from the farmer's market, and you know, I like to cut it off the cob to use for creamed corn in the summertime because I like the fresh corn, and you know, you blanch it and then you cut it off the cob, and it really can be a very messy job. But this cuts down on that quite a bit. And our bacon is cooking over there. I'm smelling it. That's an instantly recognizable smell. Is bacon cooking, and my little pans want to slide on me here. Let's stir our bacon. But make sure that you do get all that little milky juiciness out of there. So good. I love corn on the cob. Absolutely love it. Let's stir our bacon. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Let our bacon cook up. We did a recipe, if you remember back a little bit, we did a recipe starting out with bacon, and we just added the lima beans to it. And that's the basis for this recipe, and that's my favorite way to eat lima beans is just cook bacon like this and put the frozen lima beans in there and let them simmer for about 10 minutes, and it's just delicious. Lima beans is not one of those things that you can find fresh very often, but unless you have a garden and you grow them. But the frozen lima beans I find are delicious, and they hold up well. Now not a big fan of the canned lima beans as much as the frozen ones, because I think the frozen ones retain their crispness a little better than the canned ones do. But you could use the canned if you wanted to in this recipe. If you have fresh, by all means use your fresh lima beans if you have them. I have cut so much corn off the cob through the years. Love it though. And there you go. See, all of your corn is right there in your little bowl. And it's not all over your counter. Yeah, you'll have one or two little pieces here and there. But it's really a very easy way. Let me get that extra corn off of there. A very easy way to cut your corn off. Set that to the side. Stir your bacon just a little bit. We've got some scallions here. I'm going to use probably about 4 of these. I don't need, if you don't have scallions or little green onions, you could use just a regular onion. We're going to use all of the white, some of the green, and then just slice them kind of thin. You want to have a little bit of onion. Like I said, if you don't have scallions, you could use just a small onion, a yellow onion or a white onion, whatever you have on hand would work. Would be fine. We've got our scallions. I'm going to chop the green pepper here. Now, we diced up our green pepper, and if you could, if you had a red pepper, you could use that too. Our bacon is crisp, so let's get our bacon out of the pan. And I could just eat this right here. Nothing, absolutely nothing smells better cooking than bacon, I don't think. I think it just, divine. And everything tastes better with bacon. We all know that. Okay, let's set that to the side. We'll add that back in at the end. Now you've got all those beautiful drippings in there. You leave them in there. We're going to add to that about 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons or so of butter to our bacon drippings. Then we're going to add our onion and our green pepper. All of that in the pan. This is a pretty dish too. It's just colorful and pretty. Especially if I had a red pepper. My store didn't have a red pepper this morning, so we got a green one. That's fine. 1 bag, about 10 ounces to 16 ounces of frozen lima beans, just straight from the bag. And then all of your delicious corn. Get all of that corn added in there. Stir that together. Look how pretty that is. And delicious and healthy and good for you. All those veggies. Here's some of my silk from my corn. Let's get that out of there. It's okay though. Now, to this, of course, you want to add some salt and pepper. A generous amount of salt, probably about a tablespoon or so, because nothing in there has salt. Well, the bacon's a little bit, but there's not enough in there to salt the dish. And then some fresh ground pepper. This is one of those dishes that needs the pepper. So you want to add, quite a bit of your freshly ground pepper. You've got the butter down in there and the bacon drippings. Stir that up. Look how good that looks. Oh, I could just eat every bit of that myself. And then once you stir it up, you want to bring the heat up just a little bit. Now we're going to add to this, we're going to saute this for just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add some half and half, about 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup, depending on how much you have. I've got quite a bit, so I'm probably going to need all of 3/4 of a cup. You want to have a creamy sauce around your succotash. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, the boys are going to join me, and we are going to make homemade pecan sandies. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I'm joined by my favorite little co-hosts, Austin and Aaron.
Co-hosts.
Co-hosts, yeah, you're co-hosting the program with me. And we're going to make some homemade pecan sandies, which is my favorite cookie. Love them, love them, love them, love them with coffee. In the mixer, we have got 2 cups of just butter, just softened, regular butter. To that, we're going to add 1 cup. Pour that, hold on to it now. Hold on, you can help me with the flour. We're going to put 1 cup sugar, just dump it all in there. Yeah. Can you get it?
Wait, I need to use my left.
Whoa, butter's inside of it.
Butter is inside there. Get it all in there. Don't spill it out. Here, let Mommy help you. 1 cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to cream that together on low speed. You always start out with low speed, otherwise you will end up with your flour or your sugar or whatever you're using all over you and your counter. While that's mixing, Austin, yes, yes, you may.
Let me do it. What is wrong with the TV?
Oh, it's just, wait a minute. Okay, no, you can't do that. All right, let's turn that up a little bit, guys. We want to get the butter creamed with the sugar. We're going to add to that.
It looks kind of like mashed potatoes with icing on it.
Does, doesn't
White
it?
icing.
We're going to add to that 2 tablespoons of water. Hang on.
Can I drink?
You can drink the rest, yes.
Wow. What?
All right, you see that, Austin?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn it off. And then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of vanilla. I'll do the vanilla and you help me with the flour, okay? 1, count for me, 2.
2, 3, 2, 4.
Mom, can I help with the batter too?
But wait, I have another question.
I'm helping with
Yes,
the batter
wait
too.
just a
Tell
second.
them
You
what
can.
it smells like.
Vanilla? Smells yummy. Smells like vanilla beans. Okay, guys, we got to move on. Now, let's go ahead and stir that up just a little bit. Turn it up. I'm on the back side of me here.
It smells like chocolate ice cream to me.
Turn it up just a little bit. We're just beating in the vanilla. And to that, we want to slowly scoop me out a scoop.
Well, how many?
1.
Oh yeah, did I already do the powder?
Hmm?
Did I already do the powder?
That's, okay, now let me show you. Whenever you're baking, guys, look,
Oh
let's
yeah.
turn that down. Whenever you're baking, you have to level it off. Mommy doesn't have a knife out here. Let me grab a knife here.
Which one?
You always level off when you're baking, so you scoot it back because you want to make sure that you get a level cup. See that?
Okay, that's gonna be good.
All right, wait a minute. Let Mommy dump it while we're mixing. You want to slowly add. Hang on, you're going to help me roll.
I thought you said I could do
You are. You can.
never get to pour
You're going to
it.
scoop. You're going to pour the nuts for me. Scoop another one. Now, you want to do this for me
Okay.
with the back of the knife. Scoop it. There you go. Now scoop the rest top off. All the way off. There you go. Good job. All right, hang on. Don't cut yourself. Add your second cup. We want a total of 4 cups.
Let me do it.
All right, let Bubby do it. Hang on. All right, Austin, Aaron, get me a big scoop.
Like that big?
Yep, that's good.
Let me do it.
All right, now take the knife.
Man,
Oops, be careful. Don't make a mess. Now, scoop off the top.
it's looking delicious
Take the back.
in there.
Okay,
in that
take the
bowl.
back like that. There you go. Good job. Good job.
I just done it in one
Okay.
scoop like that.
Can I do it for the
You can help me with the nuts. Hang on. One more scoop, Aaron. Okay, level it off.
What kind of nuts are we going to use?
We're going to use pecans. These are called pecan sandies. Other side of the knife, baby. Other side, the back
I
side.
don't know what that kind is.
They're yummy. The kind
Okay.
Mommy likes with coffee.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
kind. So are you
All right. Thank you. That's good. That's good enough. Thank you. So we've got a total of 4 cups of flour. We're just kind of letting our mixer do the work for us. That's all I need.
And it's getting kind of floury and messy in there.
Is it
But
getting
it looks
Can I just have a
delicious.
piece
That's
of
what-
bacon? One. cup?
One little teeny piece.
Give me-
Now, to our dough. Let's turn it off just a second. See how it's just kind of,
Whoa.
see how it just sort of sticks around the sides? You want to scrape down your sides, boys. That's what's called scraping down the sides.
But are you going to scrape this off?
Mommy doesn't have the right tool for this. I need a rubber spatula. We're going to get all of that off the mixer,
I do it?
off the paddle.
It's okay if I do it.
Yeah, you can help me. Hang on a minute. You're going to help me in a minute.
Listen.
Get all that off. Turn your mixer back on. Low first, then higher.
Now it's just going to get mixed.
Now we're going to add 2 cups.
I'll do it.
Here, help me.
I'll do it.
All right, y'all can help me. 2 cups of chopped pecans. Okay.
I thought it was supposed to be me, not Aaron.
And our dough has come together. Let's quickly here show what we need to do. Now, let's get that up.
I thought it was supposed to be me.
Whoa.
Take our, look at that.
Told you it was going to get messy again.
It does get messy, doesn't it? But you know what? That's okay. That's just part of the deal.
Yeah, but if you throw that...
Take your dough hook off and get all of that dough
Can I do it?
off. No, Mommy will need to do that.
I'd like to do it.
All of that beautiful dough off there. Now, we need to get some powdered sugar.
Abby, Hey,
for our hands.
how does that taste when you eat it?
It's yummy. It tastes like nuts.
I meant the bad thing.
You want to lick it and find out?
Okay.
Okay, here you go. Doesn't have raw eggs in it,
I
so we're good to go. Now, let's stir up from the bottom.
Look at okay.
Get all of our wonderful little nuts incorporated.
It tastes very delicious.
Good. Glad you like it.
What does it taste like? Nuts?
Tastes like nuts. Okay.
No, I didn't
Now,
taste
guys,
the
let me
piece
show
of
you. We've
nuts
only
in
got a
it.
minute or
What kind
so.
of nuts?
Come on, I got to show you how we do it. Let's scoot this out of the way for a minute.
Ooh.
There you
Okay.
go, Mommy.
Hang
What
on.
kind of nuts?
Pecans. Here, do you want to taste?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, take a little bit, take a spoonful of your dough, about like that. Look, you see what I'm doing? Putting it in my hands, rolling it into a ball, place it on a
Get me a
baking
piece.
sheet. We're just going to keep rolling.
Get me a piece.
Okay, now our pecan sandies are done. We just rolled those in a ball and baked them in the oven. They take about 15 to 20 minutes or so at a slow bake because they just, it's butter and flour. And so here they are, and they are delicious. We've already sampled. Haven't we, Erin? And here we have our beautiful cracker crumb coated chicken that we baked in the oven. It takes about 45 minutes or so. And our wonderful little succotash. These are delicious, healthy recipes for you to try on your family. Thank you for joining us. My guys are with me. Can you say we'll see you next time? Thank you for that kiss.
I have my nut on.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna, P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.